So today we have how to approach a woman. And I'm going to make this extremely simple for all of you out there watching, because you guys like to overcomplicate this situation right here. All right? Step one, go up to her. Sounds like a very simple step, and it is. But a lot of you, your balls are hiding in your stomach. So you guys haven't been able to figure that step out. Number two, make eye contact. You can't go up to a woman and be fucking looking all over the place. All right? Another simple step that you're all capable of. And number three, say, excuse me, what's your name? I know this sounds like a very simple interaction because it is, right? So after you've completed these three steps, then you're gonna have a conversation like a normal fucking person. Because a lot of you are forgetting that approaching women has a whole hell of a lot more to do with who you are as a man than whatever it is you decide to fucking say. Now, does this mean that it will work on every woman you approach? No, that's not how life works. Some women just won't be interested in talking to you. But it's crazy how everything you want is on the other side of the work you ain't willing to do. All of you want to go find these fucking dating coaches who are going to tell you these corny ass one-liners and approach game and all this bullshit, instead of going and getting in shape, going and getting your fucking money right, going and getting yourself some good stories so that you're actually an interesting person to talk to when it is you go and approach a woman. So I'm glad I could clear that up for you. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk today, and I'll see you at the same time again tomorrow.
And you cannot call yourself a man if you do not pay for everything. Yes, you're going to pay for her nails. Yes, you're going to pay for her to eat. Yes, you're going to pay for the chips. Yes, you're going to pay for whatever she wants. How are you going to call yourself a man if you cannot provide for your woman? And the men that don't like to hear that are not men. I don't know what you want me to say. How can you be masculine if you are not providing? It is not just about paying for dates. It's not just about paying for food. It's about paying for everything and making her life easier. When you have it though, let me emphasize that. If you have it and if you can provide, why wouldn't you provide for the person you're with? And if you do not have it, you should not be dating. You should be working on yourself for you to be able to one day provide for a woman. You need to be working on self-improvement, self-development. You need to get yourself right. You need to get your mind right. And honestly, don't even do it for a woman. Do it for yourself at this point. Be able to 100% and fully be able to say, I have all my stuff together. Only listen if you have your stuff together. Like if you are going on a date, why would you make her split the bill? Does that make any sense to you? If she says she wants to go somewhere, are you going to pay for it? No, because she invited you to go somewhere, and it goes vice versa. If you are asking a woman on a date, you should be the one paying for it because you invited her out. So yes, I strongly believe that if you are a man and you have it, keywords, you have it, you should be providing for the woman that you want to be with. And especially if that is your girlfriend, and don't even get me started if that is your wife. If that is your wife, that is a completely different story.
Someone commented on my other video, like, why does he see more women make videos about like how single life is such a struggle and it's hard for them, and he doesn't see a lot of men making those types of videos? And in my opinion, there are more women looking to settle down, looking for something serious, and I feel like the majority of men are not looking for those type of things, which is why there's an imbalance in the dating pool. We have all these women like, I want my husband, I want to get married, I want to be a mom, I want to, lock it down. And then the men in the pool are like, nah, I'm not trying to do that. Like, I'm still trying to be outside. I want to date multiple people, or they're just looking to hook up. They want to have a situationship. So it's no balance. So you see a lot of women complaining that the men in the dating pool, they're not attracting the type of men that they're looking for because men are not looking for anything serious. That's just my opinion. And with that, because guys aren't looking for anything serious, they have tons of options. So why? I'm not looking for anything serious. You are. I'm not going to change my ways to settle down with you when there's all these other women that I could pick from. So you're not seeing a lot of men complain about being single or dating sucks for them because they're actually having a good time being single because they're not looking to settle down. Most of them aren't, in my opinion. I could be wrong. Y'all let me know. Why do you think men are having more success in being single and dating than women are?
And here's what happens when the men check out. I get to go home. My house is quiet. I don't want no drama, no foolishness, no texting, no nonsense going on. I ain't got nothing to prove to nobody. I can just go home. I could just go home. I could be out there dating, but why would I do that? When all of these modern women don't have a good head on their shoulders, why would I be out there? For what?
Never text a man who ignores you. I'll say it again. For the women in the back still making excuses. If he's not reaching out to you, that silence is already your answer, fully formed, no decoding required. I get it, I do. You want to make sure he still cares. You want to give him the benefit of the doubt one more time. But his silence is the benefit of the doubt used up. Ask yourself an honest question. Why am I even reaching out to him right now? To prove my worth to someone ignoring it? To remind him that I exist and matter? Because here's the thing, it is not your job to remind a man that you're alive. There are amazing men out there who would never let you wonder. If he wanted to talk to you, he would. It's that simple. If he was thinking about you, you would feel it. You'd know. Men aren't nearly as complicated as we make them when they're actually interested. The confusion only shows up when the interest isn't strong enough to act on. You don't have to decode genuine effort because it's never confusing. And every single time you text first after being ignored, you're quietly teaching him that your boundaries bend, that he can disappear whenever he likes and still keep full access to you. That's not power, even though it feels like keeping the connection alive. That's self-abandonment dressed up as effort. The right man will never leave you sitting there wondering whether you should reach out. He'll already be there. I wrote about this in my book, Being Done, reminding a man that you exist. If that's you, come and see, and I'll send it to you.
Should you tell your partner about a one-time cheat? Overall, I think honesty is the best policy, but I wouldn't say it's always the right thing to do, because here's the thing. If you confess your one-time cheat, you may feel better that you don't have to walk around with this guilt-ridden secret anymore, but your partner might feel a lot worse. If your partner's going to find out, definitely tell them. It should come from you. But if you can keep it a secret and use the guilt to motivate yourself to never cheat again, I wouldn't say anything.
No. If you cheat on your partner, they have a right to know. And it should come from you. Even if you'll never get caught. Doesn't matter. Have some integrity. Sit them down and tell them. And to be fair, sometimes people will still stay and give you one more chance. But even if they don't, you still owe them that. Holy cow, that's terrible advice. We should be encouraging people to take more accountability, not less. If there is anything that you have done or said or whatever that your partner should probably know, or if you would want to know, you need to tell them. Don't be a coward. You owe them that. And they have a right to make a decision based on that thing that you did. And they are justified within doing so. Within reason, of course. You know what I find even more pathetic is those people that cheat long term, or maybe they cheated once and years later it comes out. Excuse me? The least you can do is tell them. Even if it makes them worse. Yeah, they're going to feel worse in the moment. But they still have a right to know. Just because you don't like their reaction to what you just told them doesn't mean you don't tell them.
Men are just built different. They're raised, don't complain, don't cry. Little boys don't cry. Little boys are tough. So when a man grows into a man, he's automatically thinking, be tough, stick it out. I'm the provider. I'm the supporter. So that man will stick out that relationship for as long as he possibly can, even though he's miserable, because that's what he was raised to do. He was raised not to complain. He was raised to be the man. But honestly, men want to be loved too. Do you think a man loves to be in a relationship that he no longer feels intimacy or bedroom activities in? Do you think that that man wants to be in a relationship where he is only a paycheck to you? A man doesn't want to be in a relationship where he feels like he's just another paycheck, or he's just there because it's convenient for you. A man wants to be loved just like you want to be loved, just like you have your needs met within that relationship. that man wants his needs met just as much. And if you're denying him of that, shame on you. Because that man is going to stick it out, he's going to stay, and he's going to do his best to be within that relationship and provide for that family that you guys have built. A man doesn't say yes to be in a celibate relationship. A man says yes because of the way you made him feel prior to the wedding. Please remember that. Let me know in the comments below what you think.
You know, you have a lot of these modern women that are really upset. Well, maybe I wouldn't say upset, but they're kind of confused, right, as to why men don't beg anymore, right? And, you know, you hear them talk about, you know, men aren't yearning. Men seem like they don't care. And it's not really, the way they say it, it makes it seem like a man is heartless. But that's not really the case. It's just that it seems like in so many of these situations, a man gets in trouble when he tries to, you know, come up and talk to you. And at that point, it doesn't really seem like it's worth the risk.
Begin transmission.
Here we go.
Men, you guys are trying to get worldly women to submit to you, and that's why it's not working. I mean, a wife that submits to her husband is actually just submitted to the Lord. A lot of you guys are chasing after money because you believe you'll get submission that way, but when a woman truly has a reverence for God, truly fears the Lord, and wants to walk in obedience with God, she'll submit to her husband because she respects God's order and design of things. See, it's a choice to submit. It's not natural. Actually, our nature is to rebel. So the reason why you have a rebellious woman is because she's living in her nature, she's living in flesh, she's living in sin. But a woman who has to that and has been born again and raised up by the Lord, she will be submissive because she respects God. And a woman that respects God first will respect her husband. Submission is a choice. Everyone chooses to submit. You're choosing to submit to God. You're choosing to follow God every day. God has given us that free will. And so a lot of human nature chooses not to have an upper authority, but that Satan has convinced us that our freedom is to rebel and not to submit to an upper authority. So your woman is doing what human beings do. And then you're trying to get her to do something where she doesn't even respect God. A woman that says, I don't want to submit to the Bible and all these rules. And then you want her to submit to you? She don't even follow a rule book. She can't read the Bible without getting in her emotions and feeling like it's oppression. So why would she submit to you? She would feel oppressed doing so. A lot of these men are searching for heavenly wisdom, heavenly discipline from a woman in the world. You are attracting women that serve two gods, that have Christian quotes in her bio, but also eat at the table with demons. She at the club getting drunk till 3 a.m.
You know the man you decided to lay down and create a life with, that you see every day? Why don't you go back and live with him and work it out? Instead of trying to do this over and over again with new guys who ain't gonna marry you. And they got nothing invested in your son. How about that?
He lives with his parents. I don't want to move to his parents' house.
Okay, well, ma'am, you picked it.
I did. I'm not bashing him.
So instead of he moved to his parents, with you guys living in a house together when you were married.
We were, yes.
All right. But you ain't having mental problems or anything like that right now?
No. Mm-mm.
Then he could move into your house with your son and put his family back together. I know it's crazy to think that the person you made a baby with would have more of an interest in making sure that your son and his son had the best outcome versus random guys coming through the house just to have interactions with you, knowing they don't want to stay for a long time. Just a thought, especially since you can honestly say today, you didn't really give therapy an open shot.
Mm-hmm.
But it sounds to me that he's still reasonable enough with you to where he's co-parenting effectively.
He is.
Well, then what do you want? Do you want love, romance? Do you want a soulmate? Is that what you want?
I do.
Then go watch a damn Disney movie. You're a mother. You get duty. Duty to your son, duty to your husband, duty to your family. The women who came before you guys understood that they needed to have a duty to everyone else, not just their fifis.
If your woman refuses to create distance between herself and some other man, be it a friend or whatever, never assume bringing this up will make you look weak or jealous. Because if you ask me, it has nothing to do with jealousy and everything to do with what she refuses to protect. Let me make this clear. This is not about controlling your woman or telling her who she can and can't talk to. The real issue isn't who she's talking to, it's how much emotional access another man has to her. And there's a big difference, if you ask me, between a man who simply exists in her life and a man who has emotional proximity. Most men don't have a problem with friends. They have a problem with ambiguous access. Ambiguous access is when someone has closeness to your partner without a clear role, a limit, or a boundary. It's access without definition. And it can look like this. He's just a friend, but he knows her emotional struggles, right? Oh, he's nothing to worry about. But she texts him whenever she's stressed, lonely, or unsure. There's no label, but there's availability. Neither is there commitment, but there's intimacy. If you ask me, that's ambiguity. The access exists, but the rules don't. And ambiguity is uncomfortable because basically it creates competition without your consent. You didn't agree to compete, yet you're expected to tolerate everything. See, this isn't about you needing reassurance. It's about whether the relationship itself has clear boundaries. And if a woman immediately defends another man instead of acknowledging the impact that he has on your relationship, that should tell you more than any other explanation ever could. So no, it's not about insecurity.
And modern women continue to talk about, and this is why really honestly and truly, they come up with the mental load. You know what? Okay, let's be fair. There are in some relationships, the man is not doing what he's supposed to be doing. The man's not carrying his weight. Fair. I got it. He shouldn't be doing it. He should be actually helping, right? But what they do is they put, instead of being like, okay, I'm carrying 90% of the mental load, but my husband is carrying 90% of the physical load. I got the mental load, he's got the physical. She's expecting the man to come in. She says half, but what she actually means is, I actually want you to carry 70, 80% of the mental load and continue to carry your 90% of the mental load. And when men realize that, that's when they started opting out.
The reason women aren't having children or the birth rate is falling is because actually many women are being presented with an absolutely insolvable puzzle.
Did you see the Chris Williamson video? He said that women are selfish for not wanting kids. The birth rate is declining because women have become more selfish. And I made a video about it saying, what do you mean women have become more selfish? Women, one, have been arguably one of the most selfless groups across history, have been take on the majority of care burden across the world. And now maybe we do look at the world and we go, this is completely inhospitable for mothers.
The idea of being selfish, so thinking about yourself, firstly, what is inherently wrong with that? That in itself is a very misogynistic comment, right? So we live in a society where men are expected and encouraged and valorized for thinking about themselves and their self-improvement. When a woman does that, selfish is used as a very derogatory term, right? So that in itself I have a real problem with. But yeah, the broader point is that our capitalist patriarchal society relies on a huge amount of unpaid labor from women. And that is incredibly difficult. So you have lots of different groups working on flexible working arrangements, better childcare, better job opportunities, fertility-friendly workplaces. But it is still the juggle that young women face right now in terms of their role in the labor market, their role in the home, their role as mothers, and also kind of this increasing pressure to be fulfilled, to actualize yourself. It's actually like an insolvable Rubik's Cube. Nobody has that many hours in a day. Nobody has that much resources available, whether it's money, time, emotional energy. So
we're doing the proper way. You should hug your friend's girl, or how your girl should hug your friends. So when I hug my wife, meat to stomach, you know what I'm saying? We hugging this meat to stomach. See that meat laying on that stomach. You see that meat on the stomach. All right, that's how you hug your girl. You know what I'm saying? That meat to that stomach. All right. I want to see how you would hug one of the homies. If you see him, how do you hug him?
Jason, I go like this.
That's how you hug him?
Yeah.
Okay, does the man hand go...
I don't know.
Does the man hand go right here? Is that proper?
I think it's on my shoulder.
It's like this. Okay, so that's the proper way then you should hug your husband's friend. So I always do like this. Like, you can do the lean in hug to the girl, like, cause you gotta keep, this leg has to go forward first. For the man, no. Let me tell you, this leg has to go first. It keeps you that space in between.
You know, front hug.
No, I'm saying if I did a front hug, I'm leaving that space. you know what I'm saying, how you doing, like that type of shit, because I don't want that meat on the stomach. That's a little odd. Or you can just go in for the side one like that.
Should be side.
Side. Those are the proper ways that you need to be addressing your husband or your husband's friends and your wife's friends. It should never be. If y'all hugging y'all homeboy's girl like this, you know what I'm saying? Y'all doing some shit like this and shaking, and that meat is up. Hey, come down, Richard. And that meat is on that stomach. Y'all disrespectful. Those are the proper ways to do hugs.
I have a theory about the men's loneliness epidemic that's obviously been unproven, and it probably might ruffle some feathers, but you're gonna have to hear me out on it. First, I think it's utter BS. I think the term loneliness epidemic is wrong for a multitude of reasons, but the reason I need you to stick with me on this is because I'm looking at this from a very objective approach. Coming from a single woman who's been very single for a very long time, has not gone on a date in 3 years. The reason men are considered lonely is because they're having a hard time finding a partner, okay? Let's just make that clear. And for every man out there, there's an equal and opposite woman who is also single, but there is no women's loneliness epidemic. You know why? Because that same exact situation for a woman is considered a flex. And all you have to do is take a look at some of the articles being published from Shantae Joseph in British Vogue. The narrative and rhetoric surrounding women choosing singlehood in 2025 is that this is the year of the single woman. This is the year of is having a boyfriend embarrassing. And it sort of just begs the question, okay, then why are men, considering themselves so lonely? And again, this is coming from someone who has been single for a very long time. I generally have not gone on a date in 3 years, and I would never consider myself to be lonely because I have hobbies, because I have friends, and I'm using myself as a real life example, but I have other things that make my life fulfilling. And for this group of women that I consider myself to be in, they also have other things that make their lives fulfilling. And so for this group of men to consider themselves to be lonely, it's maybe the answer really isn't that you're lonely and that you need a partner if you're a man. Maybe the answer is that you need hobbies, you need family, and you need friendship. And maybe you need to go to therapy and do some work on yourself, because that's what the women are doing. And it seems to be working. And the problem I have with this whole loneliness epidemic mindset is that it's such a victim complex. And it's okay, well, maybe the answer is you. Because if you just turn the corner and look at the group of women who are inherently doing the same thing, you can take a page out of their book.
I think also one of the things that men have a real big problem with, or one of the things that they run into is in darn near every disagreement, there's gaslighting. If a man says, I feel like this, and she says, well, I feel like that. Okay. Or are we on different pages? Instead of agreeing to disagree, she goes into calling him a narcissist. She goes into calling him, you're not as emotionally intelligent as I am. You're not as emotionally stable as I am. Right? Shame, insult, guilt, and the need to be right. This is what we're running into with a lot of these modern women. And so when you're saying, how come a man doesn't come approach me anymore? How come a man doesn't really want to date anymore? This is what men are talking about. The juice isn't worth the squeeze. Looks fine. Juice looks great. Fantastic. Looks like it's good. But it isn't worth the trouble. I don't know if they really cleaned it properly. I don't know if it's been purified properly. So I'm not going to go over there and drink it. Oh, well, you scary. Maybe. But I'm staying alive.
If a man ever brags that they do not chase women, oh, she's falling down. If they brag that they do not chase women, if they brag that they're not going to go out of their way for a woman, you like men. You want to be a princess. You want a man to chase you. They haven't admitted to themselves that they are actually gay. Okay. Because a guy who guys know, it's not about chasing women in particular, it's more about pursuing a woman, okay? If they're bragging that they do not pursue women, you're kind of girly, kind of weird. It's just not a flex, because the girls that are actually of high quality are going to not chase you. They're not going to chase your validation. They're not going to go out of their way to prove to you that they're worth being picked, okay? Because a lot of the high quality women that you want are going to require you to pursue them. And yes, I am referring to pursuing, not chasing. So if a woman's not showing any signs of interest, of course the guy shouldn't have to chase them, right? But if you're bragging that, oh yeah, I just, I'm not going to chase a woman. I'm going to have her come to me. I'm not going to pursue women. I'm going to have her come up to me. She needs to show me that she's worth being with. I'm sorry, in what world? You are not the prize. The woman is the prize, always. And if you think you're the prize, sir, I think you need to be with men. You need to be with men, and you have to acknowledge the fact that you might possibly be gay. And that's okay. Just learn to accept it. Stop complaining, because the girls that you really want are going to require a little bit of effort. Sorry, sir. It's just how it is.
Where are all my high value men at? Y'all even know if you're a high value or not? High value men are selective in the women that they choose to invest their time and their energy and their efforts into. High value men are able to communicate, even be respectful, even when they're angry. High value men are intentional. They are not out here playing mind games and listening to Fresh and Fit and think that the Fresh and Fit dudes are going to bring them a successful high value woman. High value men listen, they prioritize, and they show up for the people around them, and they focus on women that can build with them, not women that are going to drag them down just because they look good. High value men are consistent as are not going to leave anyone in your life wondering how you feel and where you stand with them. And you don't play these little baby games. Whether it's business, friendships, romantic relationships, you know how to communicate and you know how to be consistent in those relationships. High value men know how to make good financial decisions because he wants to build a future. He doesn't want to be in debt for the rest of his life, and he's also building a legacy if he decides to have children in the future. High value men care about how they present themselves, how you look, how you dress, how you talk. Your confidence is silent. You don't need validation or anyone to tell you otherwise because you know what you bring to the table. And lastly, high value men are not driven by their ego. They're driven by creating peace and security for the people around them to create a better life for himself and his future and all of the people around them. And he's ambitious. He's able to do this with peace, kindness, love, and affection and respect. Okay, bye.
This no shade, no tea. This no shade, no tea, no hate, no nothing. I just think I find it fascinating that I invited two males who expressed interest in reading our book club books. I invited them to read our book for December, right? I told them about it on, let me look at the date. Okay, on December 8th, I told them about the book and I said the due date is January 4th. That's when we're going to be discussing it, right? Ask me of the two who finished the book and who showed up for the discussion. Go ahead, I'll let you guess. If you guessed neither one of them, you are correct. You are correct. I don't think that should have been hard. Yeah, neither one of them finished the book, let alone showed up to the discussion. Actually, one, in fact, prioritized the Ravens game, which I'm pretty sure they lost, so, over book club. And listen, Linda, listen. I don't have really much to say. I just have to say that it's telling. It's telling about the state of where men are at. We chose a book that was written by a man. They are black people, and so we chose a black book. Like, it was one that would have been of interest to them. It was an interesting topic. It wasn't no girly pop, nothing like that. Neither one of them finished the book, and neither one of them showed up to discussion. I'll leave that there.
Why would I pick the book club over a Ravens game? They're in the playoffs. What are we doing?
You need to be walking! Listen, man. Listen, put some clothes on and respect yourself.
What are you, fucking
That's your intelligent response to your
Do
response?
a little thing on you?
Yo, watch your hands.
Why are you talking to me?
Because I wanted to? The hell?
Really? But you actually were insulting me. So why did
It's insulting.
You didn't want to talk to
Can I
me?
speak?
What?
It's insulting to tell you to dress non-promiscuously.
That's the way your dick is right here.
Bro, touch me again.
Touch me again. You fucking
You're just repeating me. I didn't touch you.
What are you doing right now?
I'm shaming you.
I know. That's my point.
Okay.
I can't degrade you back.
You can, but it's just not true.
Oh, really? That's so weird. I'm not a slut, you fucking
Well, it looks
I'm
like
30
it.
years old.
You're representing yourself.
Are you a But you look like one. You look like you suck dick,
You're
baby.
like,
You love dick.
This is like demonic. This is like a witch.
You love dick, you fucking
You need to stop maxing.
Don't fucking corn bashing? Hey, first of all, I love gays.
What?
But you
More
should punch
clothes.
you in the fucking face, you fucking piece of shit.
Wait, this is all here. Blah, 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 blah.
Yo, these are fucking hate mongers. I work here. Look at them.
Oh, of course. Listen.
Out of here. You're laughing.
Wait, this is actually funny. Hold on, watch my cameraman. Watch my cameraman.
Out of here.
Watch out, watch out, watch out.
Get you the
Watch out.
fuck out of here now.
one more time again. I'm seeing you right now. Listen, man. Listen.
For now, I'm exercising my freedom of press and my freedom of speech. I'm allowed to do that. I do not have to move. I respect you. I respect the Miami Police Department. When you open this gate, I won't be here.
Perfect.
Thank you. Let's do it. Let's do it. My bad.
Oh my God.
Man, they're trying to kick us out. Man, nice meeting you, bro. Hell yeah. Have fun at Ultra, boys.
Me and my roommate were talking about how we believe like in the next decade, white men are going to feel more of a freedom to more actively pursue black women. And I feel like shows like Love Island give white men permission to pursue black women. And so we were like, I feel like this great shit is going to happen where, you know, black women are in this kind of like rock and a hard place where they want to be with black men, but black men are not like in a place to be able to court us. And white men are. And I think like black women right now are kind of like, oh, that's not like, we don't want that. We want black king, whatever. But I feel like shows like Love Island give us perspective on what it would be like to be pursued by a white man, and like the perks of it and even the fun in it. And just to see like one of the healthiest couples on Love Island right now is Bryce and Trinity. And then last year, Nicolandria. It's like giving us like intel on like, oh, maybe. And I feel like shows like Love Island permit. And I mean, like, shift culture. As much as I want to be like, this show is dumb, it is changing things. My roommate is more on the side of white men should date black women and black women should allow white men to court them. I, however, am not there yet. I still want a black man. But the more I see, the more I want. So let there be 3 more seasons of a white man pursuing a black woman on Love Island, and you might see me in a couple with a white man.
A lot of these modern women are confused by men minding their business, by men not paying them any attention, you know? And a lot of modern women don't really realize that men have learned that, you know, maybe in a certain setting, I'll say something. Right? Maybe. It depends. I got to be feeling real froggy at that day or that day and I'll leave. But that's going to be few and far between, right? Not necessarily saying I got to get some liquid courage, but few and far between. And that few and far between is what's killing modern women. It's what's confusing them, right? Because they think, well, you know, I'm going out to the bar every Friday night and I have not been approached. I have not been talked to. Men just stare at me. Exactly. Because that few and far between might be, oh, every 10th time I go to the bar, I might say something. And so he don't go to the bar that often. So it might take him 3 years to go to the bar and, you know, that 10th time, hey, I like your dress tonight. And that's it. And she didn't go on 2 or 3 years. Well, you know, you can usually get a hey, I think you're cute from a man probably every week if you wanted to. But modern women are thinking that they're supposed to be getting all this attention because I'm a princess. And with the way that y'all been acting, it's not really that way anymore.